Hey guys, welcome to the Clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson, and today's review is going to be on Spider-Man Far From Home. Yes, I love me some Spider-Man, and I love Homecoming. I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. I loved everything they've done in Infinity War and Civil War, Infinity War and Endgame. Loved it all, and then Homecoming was awesome. This one's my least favorite, not of all Spider-Man movies, but it's my least favorite of what we've been doing with Spider-Man so far. First of all, I don't like the idea of Spider-Man being the next Iron Man. I don't like that whole premise. Spider-Man is street level, fights some of the best villains in comic book history. That's Spider-Man, a loner. I mean, every once in a while he teams up, so they've done it well in what he has done so far. But in this one, it just felt like the same old thing again, and that's something I just didn't enjoy about it. The villain, I'm not going to spoil anything, but the villain is kind of similar to something we've had recently, and even in the previous Spider-Man movie. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just crazy that they would go the route they did, but I loved the design and the development of Mysterio himself as a character, and what we got to see with his powers and abilities I thought was brilliant. I never thought we would have got what we got in this movie. I never thought I would see it on the big screen, because doing Mysterio is really hard and difficult reading it in the comic book, but in this they pulled it off. They pulled Mysterio off very well. But the acting in this movie I thought was way over the top. And I know they're going for this John Hughes, director type, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, high school, gimmicky, cheesy humor. It just fell flat for me. I mean, there are some great funny moments in this movie that I busted out laughing. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a good movie. I loved it. But I just had problems with it. And this constant belief that in every movie has to be funny, I'm just not getting it. I just wish they'd stop making stuff be funny. Let it be real. Spider-Man's a funny character when he's battling with the heroes and stuff, but when he's not a comedian. And it just seemed like everybody in this movie had to have a line or had to say something to make the audience laugh. There was a moment for almost everybody in this movie to get a funny part in this movie. And that's just something I didn't think is necessary. It works for a lot of people. I think I've seen a lot of reviews on this movie, and everybody, it's all positive. I haven't even seen a negative one. This might be the only negative Spider-Man review out there, but I have to be honest with you. And guys, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a comic book fan. But if I have a problem, I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to be honest about it. But, I did love all the comic book stuff that we got in this movie. I thought all of that was great. I just wish there would have been more Spider-Man. It felt like a Peter Parker movie more than it did a Spider-Man movie. But I'm okay with that because I love Tom Holland. He's a great Peter Parker, and he's a wonderful Spider-Man. But, just I wish we could have gotten more of Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. So give me some Spider-Man, which we did get at the end, and there's a lot of it, and it's great, and that's fine. But I just wanted more. Anyway, but other than those like little negatives, the end of this movie really made it for me. And I'm telling you, you have to stay for both credit scenes. Okay, I'm not a fan of the last post-credit scene. I know there's a mid-credit scene and there's a post-credit scene. The mid-credit scene, I can't tell you what it is because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but just know that it made me sit up in my seat and go, man, that made the movie for me. It really did. And so stay for it. You almost have to. It's the end of the movie. The end of the movie isn't where it ends. It's at the mid-credit scene is the end of this movie. So I will tell you that. Stay for it. Now, the post-credit scene, you really need to stay for that one too, because if you don't, it's a whole different movie. So I'm telling you, you have to stay for both post-credit scenes if you're into Marvel Cinematic Universe and what's coming next, and what's going on in the movie Far From Home. There are characters that are represented in the post-credit scene, so you have to watch it to get the full scope of this whole movie. If you don't, then you're not going to understand some of this movie. So that being said, I did like it. Go see it. It's fun. You'll probably love it. I have my problems just because I'm biased in some kind of ways. I'm a fan, but I'm also a film fan, and I want my comic book movies to be done well. And I think they just tripped over themselves a bunch of times with the overacting and the trying to be funny when you don't have to be funny. I just didn't like that. But anyway, I loved everything else. Spider-Man's awesome, so can't wait to get more of them. But have you seen it? That's the most important thing. Are you planning on seeing it? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like my videos and subscribe to my channel. And as always, make yourself happy every day, guys. And the only way to do that is to remember the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!